राहुल भाई विराट कोहली का भी ये 500वां गेम है, एक माइलस्टोन इस हिस्टोरिक सीजन में। ओवर द लास्ट फ्यू मंथ्स में देखें अगर आपका काफ़ी इंटरेक्शन होता है बैटिंग, ही इज वेरी इन द लाइटर मूड, बोथ ऑफ यू हैव सीन दैट when Virat, someone like Virat, we are out from outside, he is not at his dominant best, but still getting so many runs. So, as a batting legend yourself, you have seen a lot of great players have gone through that stage. Putting aside his ego and then just playing this kind of game, how do you just explain that?
Yeah, I think Virat, I mean, I didn't know that this is his 500th game. So I'm not a great one for numbers, but it's great to hear that. And I think it's fantastic. I think he's a real inspiration to so many players within this team, without a doubt, and to so many people, boys and girls back home in India. And obviously his numbers and his stats, they speak for themselves. His performances, it's all there in the books. It's all there. But I think for me, it's just what's been great to see and been great to see firsthand is just the effort and the work that he puts in behind the scenes when no one is watching. And I think that is reflected in the fact that he's been able to play 500 games. He's still going very strong, very fit. The energy and enthusiasm that he brings to the game in spite of playing 500 games and being around here for 12, 13 years now. I think that's, it's truly fantastic. And that's not come easy. That's come because of a lot of hard work behind the scenes, a lot of sacrifices that he has made through his career and he's willing to continue to make. And I think that's something that is great for a coach, because you can see a lot of the young players will look to that and be inspired by that. You don't have to say anything, but just by the way you conduct yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you go about practices, the way you go about your fitness, becomes an inspiration for a lot of other young players who are coming through the system, and hopefully they follow that and they are inspired like Virat to play so many games. So longevity comes with a lot of hard work, discipline, adaptability, and he's shown all of that. So long may it continue.
Rahul bhai, momentous occasion, 100 test match between two test playing nations. What do you make out of it?
Yeah, it's a truly, it's a really great occasion to play 100 test matches between the India and the West Indies, two great cricketing nations, really proud cricketing countries, have been very successful cricketing nations as well. Some great cricketers have played over these 100 test matches. Some great test matches, great passion for the game in both parts of the world, in the Caribbean as well as in India. A great love for each other's players. I mean, I know growing up, really looking up to and admiring and following the exploits of the great West Indian players when I was a young kid. I know how respected and loved we are as an Indian team when we come to the Caribbean, having been here as a player and as a coach. So a really special occasion and a lovely occasion to be a part of.
Just like friend, I see that. Speak with Virat.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice to see Virat's journey. I mean, I've seen it. Obviously, when I first played, he was a youngster coming through, and then I was not really involved in the team as such. I watched it from the outside with a lot of admiration to what he's done and what he continues to achieve. And then now to be able to get to know him a little bit over the last sort of 18 months, to interact with him, to get to know him and get to know him personally as well. It's been good fun. I've really enjoyed it. I've learnt a lot from him. So in a lot of ways, I've really enjoyed it, and I hope he has as well.
The wicket was conducive to spin mode. Can we expect a change in strategy or change in lineup for the second to discuss? The wicket seems a bit bouncy.
Not really. I think the team we had picked for the last game covered us in all the bases. We had 3 fast bowlers and we had a couple of real high quality experienced spinners. If anything, if the wicket we felt would turn appreciably more, then we had the option of going with 3 spinners, which we have in the past. But I think the team that we've got actually balances us out really well and gives us the opportunity to play on any conditions that we are up against. So wicket might be slightly different to the one we played in Dominica, but I don't see us making too many changes unless we are forced to.
Yeah. Rahul bhai, talking about transition, obviously we have the likes of Yashasvi, Shubman, doing well? Means, does it augur well for the team going forward? Obviously, we have a gap of 6 months before the South series against South Africa.
Yeah, I think it's a tribute to it's a tribute to our system, the domestic system. It's a tribute to just the environment around the team, that a lot of young players are able to come in and perform straight away when they come into the Indian team. So a lot of credit of that should also go to the domestic system producing these kind of players, especially in the batting department, and also just the relaxed environment that the team here has been able to create, that allows young players to come in and express themselves. So, it's nice from our perspective as a coach for me to be able to see young players come in and perform straight away and do really well, whether it's Yashasvi in the last game or the way Shubman has grown over the last 6 to 8 months. Even just seeing the way Ishan came in and kept in the last game on a difficult wicket, he did a really good job. So there's been a lot of young players we've seen even in one days and T20s who've come through really well. And so, credit to that, to our domestic system, to our NCA, and a lot of other people who can make that possible for us. So, really happy about that, really glad to see that. And I know that people like Jaiswal and Gill will be faced with other tougher challenges and more challenges as they go on and they play more cricket. Teams will start getting to know them better. I think even in a test match, we'll see the West Indies will probably come up with tactics and strategies. Having seen Jaiswal in the last test match, they'll respond to that. And the challenge for Jaiswal is to respond to the tactics and the strategies that the West Indies are going to come up with in this game. Because today, I think as a young player, once you get known and once you start performing well, teams start planning and preparing for you better. So you need to respond to that as well. So looking forward to that, but really excited to see his talent and to see how well he performed and just the way he adapted. I was really pleased to see that he was willing to play an attacking game when required, but also knuckle down and be defensive and work hard for his runs when it's required. And as a coach, nothing pleases you more than that.
Coach, the first test match was extremely one-sided. Are you worried that your team will suffer from a bit of complacency, or that first win is behind the team?
Yeah, it's behind us a long time ago. It was, no, I don't think we'll be complacent. I have enough confidence in this team, and I know them now for the last 18-20 months that complacency is not a factor that would affect us. We understand the fact that the West Indies will be keen and hurting and keen to bounce back. We respect that. We know that. But we'll not be complacent. We'll start from zero all over again, and we'll look to execute our plans and play to the standards of cricket that we know, and hopefully that should be good enough.